Hey guys, I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Noah.
Welcome back to the one and only Cedar Crest podcast that shows you school news, behind the scenes, and current events.
Where we talk to our students, staff, and community about how we make every day a great day.
And this is actually Noah and I's last ever podcast episode, so we decided to have on the one and only Mr. Hassler. Woo! Hassler, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Mr. Hassler, the broadcast video and film teacher here at Cedar Crest High School.
Is that all?
Well, that feels like that's all I do sometimes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, do you want me to get into like my life before here already and things like that?
Not yet. We'll save that for a topic.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay, so we have a tradition here called rapid fire questions where we're going to ask you as many questions as you can answer in 1 minute.
Okay.
Are you freaking ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1.
Do you like vintage or new stuff?
Vintage.
Window or aisle seat?
Aisle.
How would you define yourself in 3 words?
Hilarious. No, creative, caring,
Egotistical?
and no, Brooklyn, don't let your real feelings come out, and passionate.
What's your pet peeve?
When people can do more and they choose not to, it really bothers me.
What's a guilty pleasure of yours?
Guilty pleasure of mine is, I don't know. I own it all. I mean, running, it takes a lot of my time. So yeah.
What's your favorite board game?
I actually don't really like board games, but I do like Scattergories, which is kind of a board game. Yeah. I love Scattergories.
Okay, Unk status.
What's your favorite holiday?
Probably Christmas.
If you had to switch lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Larry David.
Who?
Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's my idol.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the best.
That guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And I just would love to be able to tell everybody what I'm thinking at a moment's notice, and they can't do anything because it's just who I am, and everyone accepts it. So,
So why did you pick being a teacher?
good question. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was in high school just like all of you guys. I had no idea what I was going to do, and at one point I was going to be a radiologist because my aunt was one. I was like, well, that's a job. So I kind of signed up to do that in my mind. Mm-hmm. And then we had to do this thing like a placement when I was in high school, and I got assigned, or I don't know if I chose it or what, but I got assigned in elementary school, and I was going back to my elementary school, and they put me in a room with a teacher, won't say her name, that I didn't have, but she had a reputation for being scary when I was in school. I was like terrified of her. And I'm like, I'm going to go back and this is going to be awful. Like, she's scary. Now I'm 18 at this point. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. I went back and she was awesome. The kids were the annoying ones at that point, right? Because when you're a kid, you're not annoying. It's the teacher. But when you go back and look at it through a different lens, it's like, oh, she was actually really great. We saw it all wrong. And so being in that room, I had so much fun with the kids. I was like, I could do this. Like, just never leave school. I know how to do it. I've been here for a while. So I jumped in that way and then really learned to love it when I got to college and everything. So I made the right choice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what were you... So you said you went to college for teaching. What did you major in specifically?
I majored in elementary education. Okay. So it was K to 6 at the time. And it was just general, anything elementary is what I could teach when I got my degree. And
you went straight to the middle school then?
No, I was at Cornwall I went to Elko for 2 years. And then Mr. Kent, who was the principal at Cornwall, came and found me. And then I went to Cornwall for, I want to say it's like 6 years there. And then I moved to the middle school. So I was in 2nd and 5th grade at Cornwall for a couple of years.
Gotcha.
How was that? Any different from what you're teaching now?
It's funny how alike first graders are to seniors. Because I taught.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, I still
what
have to tie shoes every now and then. It's the thing. When I was in first grade, that was a long day for them and for me because it's just they need everything. They're very, very, very needy. So I moved to 5th grade and I was scared of them. Believe it or not, I was bigger than all of them physically. But then when you get there, it's like they actually like have a mind and they're thinking of things and like so yeah, I was nervous to move to 5th grade, but I was glad that they forced me into it because then I started to like working with the older kids. So that's what got me to the middle school then, because I thought, well, maybe I want to work with kids who are a little bit older and can have, more real world-ish conversations. Even though middle school, it's still not really real 6, 7. It's not still real world at that point. But yeah, so then I jumped over to the middle school and was on Team Blast for a couple of years. That was a lot of fun. I really liked that. And then I assume you're going to ask me how I got here, so I can just keep going if you want me to.
Mm-hmm. Yep, do it.
Yeah. So then I was at the middle school and I was working with Mr. Groff, who you know here, and some other people that are at the high school now. But Mr. Groff became the principal over here. And then at some point in my journey down there, this job became available and he mentioned it to me and it was interesting. And I actually turned it down. Then I was like, I brought it up, but then I didn't want to do it. And I called and told him I was out when he was on vacation. And then he called me back on Monday and he's like, hey, so you're taking the job? He didn't listen to my voicemail. So I was like, oh, awkward. No. And then he asked me why. And then we went through some things and I was just nervous, kind of like when I went to 5th grade. I was just cold feet. And then I thought about it a little bit longer. I was like, I'm going to regret this. And so I made the jump and it was, the rest is history. It's been great. Like it's awesome. So I'm glad I did.
A big thing that I've definitely noticed over the years, like when my sister was here, it was just the Daily Show and like a couple things here and there. What inspired you to expand into like the monthly show, the sports show, the podcast? Mm-hmm. What really made you be like, I want to do this?
The kids, they wanted it. Like we would go to this convention and we would look at things online and they'd see these other kids and they saw it. They were just as talented. They had the ability. They just needed the place to do it. So, I brought it up with them because I was like, I'll bend over backwards for you guys, whatever you guys want to do. So I knew it was gonna be a lot more work for me initially, and it was, and super time consuming, but it was worth it because I saw kids getting to flourish in things that they cared about. And it wasn't like, well, we all have to do this same thing. You guys can branch out and do whatever it is that you're interested in. The thing is, this program is so fluid that next year someone could be like, I want to start this. And I'm probably going to say yes, as long as it works with what we do, because if that's their passion, that's the point of this whole thing, right? So in education, it should really be, you're doing the things that spark an interest in you. And if a teacher's telling you no, they're really hindering the whole point of going to school. So when the kids saw those other kids in other programs doing this, it's like, oh, we need to be doing that. And so I brought it up and it was like a unanimous yes. Everybody wanted to kind of jump in, and we opened up the film stuff and started doing that. And I think in turn that actually helped the broadcast side of things, because it was like, oh, we're doing these longer films. We can do more in broadcast. I think it just kind of motivated everybody to go further with their craft. So that's what kind of the initial thing was STN. STN's great. Like, that kids saw their kids and they're like, that's really good, and so they were motivated. So I just got out of the way. I didn't really do much. I just let you guys take over.
Yeah. I think one of the most interesting things at the school when I first came into broadcast was actually learning that there are adults here that make films. The tech guys, Mr. Moritz, they've already, they go out and they already do films. And I'm kind of curious, did you always work with them? Is this a new thing that you kind of because I know Warry's been around for not that long. He's pretty new, but I know he's been helping out with stuff. Did this all come along as I was in high school, or has this always been a staple?
So my first year here, I started acting and doing small roles for Moritz, because Moritz had done things outside of Cedar Crest in the media world for years. So he wanted to do little tech videos and things. So he quickly found out that I was pretty shameless and I would do anything. So and then Warry too. Yeah. So then Warry obviously naturally was gravitated towards all of that. So when Finn came through and they started making their films, it was well, we need adults to play these roles. Well, there we were acting like idiots in these other videos. It was really easy for them to go, oh, we know who we're going to cast. So it just kind of happened that way. And then we became friends through all of that, helping the kids out. So then we started making some like films, for film festivals, and we love it just as much, if not more, than all of you guys. Like that's the thing to remember. Like I think we're passionate about it, so it's easier for kids to go, I can find the time. If they can find the time, I can find the time. So we try to be a good example. I think it works. I think sometimes we're a little much, and I think you guys can all agree to that. But I mean, we truly do love it, whether it's working with you guys or it's doing our own thing. Even like last week when I went out and filmed, I try to do things like to put myself in your shoes. So when I went out and did like the track thing, there were so many things that were annoying. I couldn't find an ND filter. I had to run back over here. When I finally found one, it was for a lens that didn't work with the camera I had. So I had to film in 1080 instead of 4K. And I drove all the way there. It's like, this is really annoying. Now I know what they're going through when someone takes the equipment, so I felt that, I need to have this done by 7:00. I just like to put myself in those situations. So when I get frustrated with you guys, I remember, it is pretty hard. And so I think that's why I continue to do it. It's like to be a good example, but then also just to kind of live it. They do it because they love it, and so, that's kind of that. It all came from little tech videos that we were doing a couple of years ago.
Do you have any more questions to ask about his career? Or can I segue into something else?
I just have one more.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So, and compared to all the other classes that I've had, it's a lot less of a structure, and it's a lot more free. Do your own and explore your own avenues. Do you know if that was in place prior to you being here, or did you come in here going, I want kids to be able to pick their own projects, do what they want, and we'll just do mini lessons along the way?
Yeah, I think to an extent, like when I would visit up here, everyone was just kind of doing, editing their videos, going out filming similar. It has to be that way because we just don't have enough time. That's the toughest part. There's so many things I want to get into, and you hear it. The kids grumble because it's like they have stuff to do.
Yeah.
We're busy.
Really?
I don't feel like a teacher anymore. I know that's odd to say. I'm a facilitator. I'm an advisor. Like the title has definitely changed. That was the weirdest thing coming up here. Like there were days where I'm like, I feel like I need to be doing more, but 50% of my job is I need to get out of the way and let them go. And then when they need me, they come and find me typically. So I try to do that, and I've gotten better. When Liz was here, I really struggle with that. I would be involved in stuff I shouldn't have been. Like I should just let them learn the hard way, and then I can come in and save the day hopefully at the end if they need it. But I would get in there and like probably get in their way, and they were getting frustrated. So it's like I learned over the years, like, no, I need to give some more flexibility. And that's why it's run that way. I think it's best for everyone. Now there are kids who want and need more attention, but typically they get it done. Like if they figure out a way. So that's how I like to run it. I think that's pretty common in this space. So
I'm gonna segue this whole conversation. This is Noah and I's last podcast episode ever.
Here.
No, ever. Never doing this ever again.
I will never be on a podcast.
So I wanted to talk about like our BV memories that we have, because I have a lot of good ones and a lot of like it's sentimental, if that's okay. Noah's laughing, so apparently it's not.
No, it's great. I'm just reminiscing.
Okay. And we have a special guest star, KJ Wick. KJ, why don't you hop on? Ew. Okay. KJ, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm KJ. I am also a student in the broadcast video department. You guys don't see me a lot though, because I mostly do behind camera work and like I do like the live streams and everything.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, I'm not going to ask you rapid fire questions. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, perfect. Let's start with Hassler first, because I'm sure KJ does want to go off first. Hassler, what is your favorite BV memory from us, from our generation?
Oh my gosh. Well, anyone who's been at this school knows that every day is just insane.
It's a great day.
It's insane. Like something happens every day. I would say, it's kind of a collective memory. So your group is my first group, right? I believe so. Second group. I was here for the whole time. So for whatever reason, I just feel a lot of ownership over what you guys have learned. Like I don't want to say ownership. That sounds kind of wrong, but I was there every step of the way. So the things I was there as you learned them. So I think for your group, what's so cool is just seeing you guys go from freshmen to seniors, and you were there when I was learning how to do this job, and you're there now that I know a lot more because obviously I'm learning all the time. So, I mean, I would say that, but if we're going for like a specific memory, I mean, the STN trip this year was awesome. I really didn't know what we were getting into, just because we had so many kids, because we've opened up everything. Everybody was doing something so different. So it was just really exciting to see where you guys were going to land, and you guys were just so awesome there the whole way through. Everyone was great. It was just fun the whole time. I didn't have any stressors or anything like that. Like nothing was working me up. It was just I could concentrate on getting you guys in the best position to compete, and I just had a lot of fun in Tampa this year. It was probably one of my favorite trips that I've been on, just because you guys made it enjoyable. It wasn't like the last day I was like, we got to get on that plane. Because I've been there.
Like last year?
Yeah, I've been there. It was like, all right, I guess it's over, and it was kind of bittersweet. And that's just a testament to the great group of seniors that we had this year. So you guys led it and gave a great example to the underclassmen. So I hope that's how it continues. But that's probably my favorite overall memory is that trip.
KJ, what is your favorite memory?
My favorite memory is definitely making and just watching Super Savers. It's definitely one of the best projects I've ever been on because most of my schools before I moved here had no form of film, theater departments or anything at all. So it's really nice to be in a school where you actually have like different creative departments because the most my last school had was a Photoshop class.
Right.
And so I really was excited to join. And then because I was like a year behind everyone, I felt like I was kind of a loser who didn't know how to do everything. So then being able to work in Cut Through and be part of Super Savers was amazing because I was able to like show my creative side of things while also having everyone else who knew a little bit more than me help me out. And I feel like I learned a lot from it. And I'm genuinely so proud of that project to this day. Like to this day, I'll be on YouTube and I'll be like, wow, what should I watch? And I just look up Super Savers. It's so good and it's so funny. And I love everyone who I worked with on it.
I'm going to jump in on that really quick.
Oh, great. So, Mr. Yapperson over here.
Anybody who watches Super Savers would look at it and go, oh, it's just kids having fun. They put a lot of work into that stuff. I mean, they're from practice shots and all that stuff that we did here at the school, but then just the planning process, the getting a grocery store locked down. And then when you finally get there, then you have to execute. And they did. And they put a ton of work into that. And I just hope everyone understands that because it's pretty amazing.
I mean, it's crazy. You guys were practicing while we were in the connector. I remember half the group went out to do that car scene to see if it was even possible.
Yeah, and it kind of was at the time. And then they pulled it off, though. In the cold, we're out there for hours, and it ended up working after, I think, like 11 takes or something like that. But, yeah, it's just how much work goes into those things. So, that's your favorite memory because you put a lot of work into it. So it's like those things always stick with you a little bit more than the things that we just kind of do quickly and move on from. So yeah, just kudos to you. That's all.
Do you want me to share mine or do you want to go?
Yeah, you can go.
I guess mine's more a little broad. I don't have like a specific memory, but I would say like both STN trips that I went on, they're just my favorite because I feel like you go out there and yeah, you have your people. Like I always say that BV is like one giant family with the most random people you wouldn't expect to be in a room together. But like you still have like little cliques inside BV. Like you have your people. But when you go to Tampa and you are put into like a mixture of people and you're kind of forced to hang out with one another, you just get closer. Like I'm closer with like a bunch of people that I wasn't close with before. And that's both trips. And like I just feel like, I don't know, I gotta work on like a bunch of random things I would never have worked on. Like film. I don't do film. That's not me. I don't do film. And I like worked on a bunch of music videos. Like I just felt like that was just like a good bonding experience with a lot of people in the program. And I just feel like there's not a lot of bad that came out of STN. I think a lot of good did.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Brooklyn on this, and I kind of have the similar answer where like it's all the friends that I've made just being here and being in this program. I've come like so close to so many people because I've just worked with them for hours and hours and hours. And that's not a negative. It's actually so fun just to hang out with them. And we get to know each other along the way. And then we get to produce all this great stuff. Like Fragments was a great experience. And even a BV1, the first film I ever did, I got slapped with mayonnaise. And
What?
That was like
What?
that was like my opening into the BV program, and I was like, you know what? That was fun. Even if I had to wipe mayonnaise off my face after it.
Yeah, when we go to STN, and I see it here, but when we go to STN, the groups that form, like the groups that are hanging out, like Moyer and I will be looking around, I'm like, didn't see that one coming. You're right, like that happens. That does happen every year, and that's so cool.
And like my biggest like concern with this year actually was that it wasn't gonna feel like last year, because last year just like I didn't talk to like 3 people on that trip, and then at STN I got really close with them, and it felt like a big family, and I feel like I wouldn't get that out of this trip because I thought that I knew everyone on the trip, but I was wrong. I felt like I got closer with pretty much everyone on that trip.
Yeah. It's the people I didn't think I would talk to that I actually ended up talking to the most.
Yeah, your group's cool because everybody gets along for the most part. I mean, every family
Not
has
you.
issues.
Not-
Well,
you're the
that's
issue.
okay.
Every family has a weird uncle.
And it's Hassler. Does anyone have anything else to add?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Like, thank you for running this. Thank you for everything you guys do day in, day out. I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for great kids.
You can't get sentimental.
I'm trying not to, but I wouldn't. I mean, I asked for some pretty outlandish things from our school, whether it's leaving school early to film something or, maybe making like films that have kind of crazy things in them from time to time or whatever it may be. And they always grant us permission because they trust us. And it's not me. Like, they know what the kids are capable of. They know what the kids can do. So thank you guys for keeping that going. So the next group, we're going to pass that on, and you left it in such a good place. I can't do that. You guys do that. So now it's up to the next group, and that's on me to get them to follow in your footsteps and do the right things. And I hope I can, because I want to do justice for you guys, and don't want you looking 2 years from now and going, what happened? We had it.
Hassler fell off.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you guys for everything that you do. I mean, it means the world to me. It really does.
Okay, well, I think that's all for the podcast today. Make it a great day, Cedar Crest.